faith should never be something that prevents you from doing something that you ought to do and that you can do with goodness. If you can, if somebody is dying and you can take them to the hospital, it is not appropriate in that circumstance to pray for them, or pray for them instead of taking them to hospital. Perhaps you can pray for them, but there are generally other steps that you should take, provided that you know that they're correct. However, perhaps if, say, somebody needs a liver, and your only option is to go steal this liver from another person, then that is a circumstance where I might say faith may be appropriate, because it is generally held that it is good to help other people. However, in circumstances where it would conflict with moral values, I'm not necessarily talking about faith in God, just faith, generally speaking, that things will work out well. It is appropriate to have faith in those situations. Or, like, again, if you are certain that, say, killing is wrong, but you think you need to kill somebody to avert a greater disaster, it is generally there to make it so that you do not have to pick the lesser evil if it seems necessary, and evil in a strictly mortal sense. While it may be true that sometimes people do need belief and reward to bring them over, to doing proper moral actions, that is still an inappropriate use of it. It is when you are already doing the moral actions, but it might seem that, through your omission of something, then that might cause some other sort of wrong. I might also say that according to it, and again, when somebody talks about, say, faith in authority as well, it is appropriate to have faith in authority when you clearly know otherwise that he will commit a mistake, and that might be worse. So then it might be better to say, well, okay, if there is nothing else that can be done, and I know clearly and for certain that nothing else can be done, then it may be appropriate to have faith in authority. Concerning the interpretation of texts, I know that in his essay, What is Enlightenment?, Immanuel Kant often talks about, mankind's self-imposed reliance on others, about how people have books to understand for them, etc., etc. Like, yes, but what exactly self-thinking is something that must be clarified a bit, for Kant has also said, at the very least in his anthropological writings, that a man is crazy when he no longer concerns himself over the thoughts of others. Now, even if we're not accepting the writings of, say, Kant as biblical truth, we might still concern ourselves with how we interpret them, simply as thinking, it is something that somebody was trying to tell us, and we might concern ourselves with the thoughts of other people.